Like to say shalom, giving all praises, Yahawashi. So give a double honor to the elders of GMS and honor to the Akim, and peace and blessings to brothers and sisters that listen to Hopeful Elect. And going to a quick lesson today on, these films that Esau be bringing out, these whitewashing films, on our people's history. It no longer has any effect, man. Like they just dropped this Samson movie, and that movie did horrible, man. It made like what? I think $2 million. The movie was a flop. All right, and it was a travesty at the box office. You see what I'm saying? Now the Most High is raising up the mighty men, which is the elect men. You see what I'm saying? But Esau, that wand or that Hollywood or that Hollowswood that you use to propagate your white supremacy has lost its effect, man. It no longer works. See, times past when they would drop these movies, the 50s and the 60s, your parents and your grandparents, people would rush out to see it. Not anymore. You see what I'm saying? Because the Most High set us up. Start with the apostles and the elders on down. And that truth is out. Okay? And I remember you also had, in the movie, he didn't even have, all the reviews was terrible for that movie. And he didn't even have the braided hair because he was a Nazarite. When you read Judges the 13th chapter and Numbers the 6th chapter. But y'all read that a little bit after this. All right? And I remember you had the Exodus, what was it? The remake, I believe, it was Exodus, Gods and Kings. And they even said Moses couldn't have been white. All right. And let me read that article real quick. They said about 3 months ago, I forgot this movie came out like I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It says about 3 months ago, Ridley Scott's film Exodus, Gods and Kings was banned in African and Arab countries of Egypt and Morocco and United Arab Emirates. The film came with ardent criticism from views all over religious ethnic spectrum and was reportedly banned by Egypt's censor board for historical inaccuracies and its Zionist portrayal of history. It says several other discrepancies was mentioned in various articles like in The Guardian and San Jose Mercury News. He jumped down. It says, but one of the huge anomaly that stuck out for many was all white cast portraying its key biblical figures. There you go. So that was another example of whitewashing when they remade the story of Moses in Egypt. You see what I'm saying? And it was banned in a lot of Middle Eastern and African countries. Okay? So the Most High, man, is shedding light on you devils, man. Your works, man. You got these Edomites, they mad because Jake is, happy over this Black Panther movie, which I ain't see that movie yet. I'll see it real soon, Lord willing, and do a spiritual review on it. You can get mad, man. Okay? First of all, that's a fictitious character, man. It's a fictional movie, man. Why you crackers getting upset? You see what I'm saying? You guys whitewash history. Everybody in history was white. But you're not complaining about this, though, man. See, but the men of the Lord, we out here, man. You see, and now, like the Most High said, I'm going to get a scripture real quick. Job chapter 9, verse 24. It says, Job 9:24, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who's the wicked? Esau, Malachi, the first chapter. Scripture says he's the board of wickedness. The book of Maccabees, it tells you when Alexander the Greek came into power. It says that evils were multiplied in the earth, even so much that the earth was quiet before he came. And when you go into the Josephus, it tells you that anything that dealt with antiquity, anything that was ancient, the Greeks claimed credit for it. Okay? That's why it also says in our book, the Maccabees. Try to read that. 1 Maccabees 3:38. That's what the white man does, man. He tries to write himself into history But that tactic no longer works, man. You're being found out for the devil that you are, man. You're the Edomites. Okay? This is 1 Maccabees 3:48. And laid open the book of the law. Still, this is what the Greeks were doing. Wherein the heathen, the Greeks, the white Greeks, has sought to paint the likeness of their images. So they will paint the likeness of their images, man, with our books. That's what this Edomite does, man. That's what this white man does, man. That's why we call him the devil, or he's the chief deceiver. All right? And they also want to make what? They want to make an Apostle Paul movie with Jim Caviezel. And that movie's going to flop, man. All right? All these religious movies that y'all keep making is going to flop, man. All right? And matter of fact, let me read I said I was going to read that Samson, Judges the 13th chapter, which they didn't have Samson with long braided hair. Okay, they had it in the series, Bible series, where they had that West African Jake, which he played it, and that was a more accurate description, right? Even though he had dreadlocks, it's supposed to be braids. Let me read that quick, Judges the 13th chapter, because I did say I was going to read it. Judges 13:1. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, Yahawashi. Yahawashi delivered them into the hand of the Philistines. That's another thing that you guys got inaccurate. Who were the Philistines? The Philistines came out of the Egyptians, man. And the Egyptians were extremely tall and dark. Okay. Let me see if I can find that real quick. If I can find that in Genesis, the 10th chapter. Genesis chapter 10. I think it's verse 13. Genesis 10 and 13. Which is this the sons of Ham. Okay, which are you Africans, and we're not Africans. We're from the seed of Shem. Okay, start from verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, which that's Egypt, and Put, which are the North Africans, and Canaan, which are you South Africans. Okay, go to the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It also breaks that down for you as well. Any Bible dictionary, all right? And it even states not the Negroes. But let me read verse 13. And Mizraim, which are the Egyptians, begat Ludim, and Anahim, and Lebanim, and Neptulim, and Pucharim, and Casulim, out of whom Philistine. So the Philistines came out of the Egyptians, man. Extremely tall and dark-skinned people. Y'all didn't have that in the film. So that's historically inaccurate. Okay, and that's why these films are banned in certain countries, man, because they know the history, man. Okay? So let me read Judges the 13th chapter again, and then me read Numbers the 6th chapter. So the truth is out, man. But death to white supremacy, man. Okay? Death to Esau, man. And these false images, okay? And then we know the main false image that you set up is that white Jesus, Cesare Borgia. We read Judges chapter 13, verse 1. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, Yahawashi. And Yahawashi delivered them into the hand of the Philistines. So Yahawashi controls everything. He's the one that delivered us into the hands of the Philistines. He's the one that delivered us into the hands of you white people, man. But he's going to redeem us. And there was a certain man of Zorah of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren, and bare not. An angel of Yahawashi appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold, now thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Now therefore I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head, for thou shalt be a Nazarite unto the Most High, from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines. So Samson was a Nazarite. What's a Nazarite? Let's read Numbers, the 6th chapter quick. It says, And Yahawah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, say unto them, When either a man or woman shall separate themselves to a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto Yahawah. This was a Nazarite. He shall separate himself from wine and strong drink. So he couldn't drink wine or any strong liquor, period. He couldn't even eat grapes. And thou shalt drink no vinegar, no wine, or vinegar, so anything have vinegar in it, strong drink, grapes, wine, you couldn't have that. Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes. So there you go. Or eat any moist grapes or dried. So you can eat raisins, nothing. Okay, this is a Nazarite. This is what Samson was. This is what John the Baptist also was. Okay. All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. Verse 5, All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head until the days be fulfilled. Okay, in which he separated himself unto Yahawashi. He shall be holy, and he shall let the locks of his hair of his head grow. When you look at locks, those are braids, 3 strands of hair tied together, man. That's our custom. That's our tradition, man. Even Jake today got braids. That was always in Israel's tradition. And that's what Samson had. Okay. I mean, in the Bible series, they showed him with dreadlocks, but even that was a closer description than what they had in this current movie, man. You see what I'm saying? You also had another article they brought out. They said the first Britons were dark-skinned people. They called it the Cheddar man. See? They said first modern Britons had dark to black skin. Cheddar man DNA analysis revealed. They said the genome of Cheddar man, who lived 10,000 years ago, suggests that he had blue eyes, dark skin, and dark curly hair. Which, who are those people? Those are the Japhites, man. Okay, which we've been through that from our elders on down. Those are the Japhites. Okay, the Aborigines, the Samoans, Indonesians, the Polynesians. They were the first inhabitants of Europe. Okay, that's why it says Genesis chapter 10 verse 2, the sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog, and Madai and Javan, which that's where the Medes came out of, Madai, and Tubal and Meshach and Tiras. Those were the first inhabitants of Europe, man. Now Esau, through his so-called DNA and science, realized that now, man. See, because the truth is out. You white people wasn't in Europe first. You were in the caves. Okay, you were in Mount Seir. Then you were pushed up there. Alright, into different, the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. You guys are Johnny-come-latelys. Alright, let me read this precept. That's what the scripture says, Isaiah 25:7. All this history is being brought out, man. It says, Isaiah 25:7. Most High said what? And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all the people, and the veil that is spread over all nations, which are lies. Okay? You other nations, you find out your nationality as well, man. Because the Most High is what? The covering cast over all of you, and the veil that spread over all nations, what? He's destroying it. He's casting it down. How is he destroying it? Through the prophets, man. And also through these artifacts. Because the scripture says in Revelation 12:16. Let me get that real quick. It says Revelation 12:16. No, let me start 15. And the serpent, which you know who that serpent is. Scripture tells you the serpent became the dragon, which that's Esau. It went from a man to an empire, which was the Roman Empire back then. Then later on it got changed into NATO, the beast. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. The woman is the Israelites. The woman with the 12 thrones on her head represents the 12 tribes. That he may cause her to be carried away by the flood, which is lies. And the earth helped the woman. How did the earth help the woman? With these artifacts. See, that genome they discovered, that fossil, they realized that those first people of Europe was dark skinned. Those are the Japhites, man. And the earth held the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth, man. So the earth helped the woman with all these artifacts and these inscriptions and these monuments that's left, man. Okay, all that information, man. We in the information era now. And we in the time now where all that information is coming out. Because the Most High is destroying the cast or the veil that's set over all you nations. And that veil is that white supremacy, man. That Edomite supremacy, man. Because this whole world has been taught history from a Eurocentric point of view. Civilization started with the Greeks. That's a goddamn lie, man. Civilization didn't start with the Greeks, man. You learn history, you learn that the Greeks even got their language from those so-called Hamitic nations, the Phoenicians, man. Come on, man. Alright? And the first language Esau was speaking was that Hebrew, man. Okay? But they so-called language, they said they got it from the Greeks. Got it from the Phoenicians, man. Okay? Which those are all sister languages. The Hebrew, the Phoenicians, Akkadian, Sumerian, Aramaic. Alright? That's how forefather Abraham was able to communicate with those different tribes of people, man. Okay, but the Most High said that everything, man, all these lies is going to get cast down in these last days, and it's being cast down in these last days. And that article that they brought out offended a lot of people in Britain, a lot of white people, man. You can get offended, all right? Like Yahawashi said, offenses must come, but woe unto you who the offensive cometh, man. So the truth is going to offend people. I'm going to read Psalms 119. Okay, we got to strive for this truth, man. Okay? You know, be a student of history. That's what King David says, Psalms 119, verse 128. So like I said, these movies you bringing out, man, come on, man. It's just a joke. All right? We read Psalms. Let me see if I can find a scripture. Psalms 119 verse 120. So these movies, man, whatever y'all guys' purpose or your intent was, you're not gonna accomplish it, man. All right. Psalms 119 verse 128. It says, "Therefore I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way." We hate every false way. Scripture says no lie is of the truth. Okay. So we see something, we got to attack it. They made that Samson movie, which the Most High is raising up the real Samsons and the real mighty men. You see what I'm saying? But how Esau portrayed is inaccurate, like he always do. That's what King David said, man, I esteem thy precepts and I hate every false way. So we hate that, man. Okay, we hate the fact that you show the Lord as a white man, and the angels as white, and our people in history as white, man. Those are lies, man. And we in a time now where that's getting cast down, man. I read two more precepts. Psalms 52, verse 3. It says, and this is concerning Esau, "Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness." This devil loves to lie. All right. "Thou lovest all the vile words, O thou deceitful tongue. The Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever." So we know that's talking about Esau. Read the book of Obadiah, read the book of Job 18, Numbers 24. This devil is the only nation that's not going to get his land back after his 1,000 years of slavery. You're going to perish forever. And that's why they ultimately scared the elite. "He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living." All right? You're not going to get your land back. "The righteous also shall see and fear, and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made the Most High not his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness." And how you going to strengthen himself in his wickedness? In his new world order. So that's right around the corner, man. Okay? But in the end, you're going to be destroyed forever. And the scripture says the righteous shall fear and laugh at you, man. Okay? All glory to Yahawashi. The truth is going to prevail, man. All right? All glory to the Most High. We living in some beautiful times, man. Beautiful times, man. This truth is going to reign supreme. Close it out on this precept. First Ezra chapter 3. This was a debate between three brothers. And they presented their arguments, I think, before the Persian king on what they considered was the strongest. And this is what they said. The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest. The third wrote, women are the strongest. But this is the point. But above all things, the truth beareth away the victory. That's the point, man. The truth is going to bear away the victory, man. This truth is going to give us the victory, man. And this truth starts with Yahawashi, man. All right? Yahawashi, man. He laid the foundation. Okay, and he gave us this word. He gave us the wisdom and understanding of this book. And this is what's going to conquer Esau. All right? We can't come together no other way unless it's through the unity of the faith, man. So, Brakatah Yahawashi, man. May this truth reign supreme. But that, I'm going to say shalom.